Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Jim Rickards, Biden wants to impose economic sanctions. Russia produces 10 million barrels of oil per day. Russian gold reserves are 2,300 tons. If oil goes up $10 per barrel, Russia adds $3 billion per month. If gold rises 10%, Russia adds $15 billion. Russia feels no pain, just profit. They must be laughing at this country every day. I bet Putin just sits in his office and just laughs at this whole disaster that the United States has become. What a freaking joke. And now we have governments like the U.S. that are literally turning on their own people. This is sick. It makes me sick for my children's future. Laura Shin put this out this morning, exclusive. With the publication of my book today, I can finally announce, in the course of writing my book, my sources. I believe we've uncovered the identity of the Ethereum's 2016 DAO hacker. So I replied to her and I said, were you able to identify the disguised whales that Joseph Lubin helped to hide when he was hiding their identities in the Ethereum ICO? Because I think that that's a bigger story. If she can find this, I can promise you she can find this. If she wants to. That's the key. Now, a couple of points on this. I retweeted her tweet and I said, there's one thing that's much more interesting than who the DAO hacker was. Why have none of the Ethereum founders or law enforcement gone after him to this day? If Laura Shin knows, they know and knew who the hacker was. That's the bigger question. Now, something else. Laura Shin had tweeted this. I would agree with this. The lesson here is do not steal crypto because the data is public. Question is not if you will get caught, but when. And I posed another question to Laura Shin. Doesn't the same rule apply if you try to disguise whales in the Ethereum ICO, Laura Shin? If you try to disguise whale purchases the way Joseph Lubin helped to do, won't you get caught? As Joseph Lubin did, you will get caught, right? Why do they not want to focus on those Ethereum whales? Why does Laura Shin not want to focus on those? She loves Ethereum. Why do they not want to focus on those Ethereum whales and who those whales were? They're focused on one random guy that was a DAO hacker. There's a reason, folks. Here's the guy. Exclusive Austrian programmer and ex-crypto CEO likely stole $11 billion of Ether. Now, I'm just telling you what she says. I'm not saying I say this guy was a hacker because, and here he is, Toby H. I repeat, I'm not saying he was the hacker. I'm saying she said he was the hacker. Moving along. So that's that. And then this guy had tweeted it out. He says lots of crazy stuff in the DAO hacker piece this AM. But the part that stood out to me was Chainalysis being able to demix Wasabi transactions. Now, Chainalysis is that company that can go, they basically are designed to go and track transactions on blockchains. Well, I said, just imagine what Chainalysis could do with the list of Ethereum purchasers from the ICO. disguised whales, anyone? That's right, folks. Those disguised whales. That's the reason this is so important. That's part of the reason that I don't think the SEC can show any of those 63 emails that went around about Ripple or about the Ethereum free pass speech, the Hinman speech. I believe that all the cast of characters are somewhere in those emails. This is just me talking. I believe they can't show it because of that. That's one of the many reasons they can't show it. But I think you'll never see any of those things. I think that they're going to keep going back to the judge on this thing, and then when the judge finally says enough and says you got to show this stuff, that's when this lawsuit's over. Remember this clip I put out yesterday.
A book that we're assuming is going to drop soon. That's full of gossip about the early days of Ethereum. You know, some people come out not looking pretty good. You come out okay, Joe. You haven't read trouble.
How is that possible? How does Joseph Lubin come out looking okay?
Some not so good. They're not going to like this book at all. But
alright, so it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of Charles Hoskinson and Gavin Wood. Today's the book release, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of commentary they come out and start making, because those guys know things, folks. Now, Thinking Crypto, give him a subscribe on YouTube. Thinking Crypto did an interview with this Joseph Hall guy who used to be with the SEC. He's now with Davis Polk and Wardell. I took this clip out of it. I wanted to show you this.
SEC has law writing, but the entire regulatory project could be basically shut down if they lose on the merits here. And I continue to think there's a pretty good chance that they will lose on the merits.
Alright, so he thinks that the SEC is going to lose. And I said this, I said, has anyone considered that Gary Gensler knew he wouldn't win, but was instructed to stall them as long as possible? This was a weapon, and that's what John Deaton keeps saying. Now, John Deaton had commented on the interview, and he said, great job, Tony. But him summarily dismissing the conflicts of interest and gross appearances of impropriety as conspiracy theories is nonsense. If these can so easily be dismissed, I'm sure he won't hesitate to come back on your show with me so we can respectfully discuss it. I encourage that, folks. I said, I totally agree it's impossible to dismiss the conflicts, the disguised whales, and the timeline, which is not in dispute. I challenge any of these attorneys anytime to come on my show or any show with John Deaton to go over the timeline and show us where the conspiracy is. They can't, and they won't. Now, this is the clip that John Deaton was referring to.
Now, this may be, Joe, an awkward question to ask you, but I have to ask it because there's a lot of video clips, a lot of connections, documents, and so forth. Why do you think Jay Clayton handled the lawsuit the way he did on his way out? And in addition to that, there's potential conflicts of interest with Jay Clayton and William Hinman with regards to Ethereum, not a security speech. What can you tell us about that from your perspective? Obviously, I am aware of the allegations around that. I don't put a lot of stock in it, honestly. It's just not how the SEC operates. It's not how those two gentlemen in particular operate. I view those allegations as conspiracy theories. It's the status of Ethereum as a security, like the status of Bitcoin as a security, and any other sort of asset stack is looking at, is examined by a lot of different people at the SEC, and these decisions are made by a lot of different people at the SEC. And the idea that either Bill Hinman or Jay Clayton had an undisclosed financial motivation for going in one direction or another direction, I just think that's unfounded speculation by people who don't really have a clear understanding of how the SEC operates, frankly. I could be proven completely wrong, obviously.
Oh, you will be. You have been.
And maybe we'll find that there is some dark conspiracy going on here. But to me, it's about the same as the QAnon conspiracy.
I mean, that's just, there's one thing I've learned by watching all these attorneys that were either at the SEC or were at the SEC and left to go to these high up, these fancy law firms in DC or whatever. There's a certain level of arrogance that I've picked up in their tone and the way they talk about social media, or even the way they look at John Deaton. Have you seen any of these DC types give any attention at all to John Deaton? John Deaton, these people stick their noses up at John Deaton. So this level of, but here's the other thing I've learned, folks. These people and their Ivy League and their attorney status does not make them smart. There are people out here that these people can't hold a candle to in intelligence. But guess what? We have the timeline, we have the video in their own arrogant words, and there is nothing, there's a reason that none of these guys like this will get on a show with John Deaton to answer any of these questions, because they can't. John Deaton's no dummy. And they can't. He's got the facts, he has the honest truth, and he's got the video in their own snarky, arrogant words, all these people, and we've got all the stuff. So what this all comes down to for me is, do we have a country of laws that apply to all of us, or do we not? Because we've got it all. So you through this process, these people, they can protect their government friends all they want, but through this process, we're going to find out whether the U.S. is still a country of laws that apply to everybody, or if some people get free passes and some people don't. And you can go off into the sunset after this case, and you can know, because I'm going to tell you right now, I've said it all along, once we have a level playing field, I go away. I'm done with all this. I'm sick of it. But I also know where we live now and what the state of our world is now. And you should too. And focus on protecting your family and doing what you have to do to in a world that is not about laws and what's right and wrong anymore. That's how you'll proceed. if all these people get off scot-free as we go forward into this, and they just go on, and the Ripple case, even if the Ripple case comes out in our favor and the way we would like it to, you're gonna know what the country you live in really is. That's the sad part about all of this. It's the sick part about all of this. There's a lot of really bad stuff going on now, in my opinion. This right here, Elon Musk knows what's going on. Elon Musk knows. Look at this. Tesla CEO Elon Musk's lawyer alleges that SEC leaked info from federal investigation. So, you remember what this guy said a minute ago? He said, that's just not how the SEC, these people in social media, they just don't know. That's not how the SEC operates. They just don't understand how the SEC operates. Well, according to Elon Musk's attorney, and I'm sure he's a pretty high-powered attorney if I had to guess, according to him, this is how the SEC operates. What is your name again? Joseph Hall. This is how the SEC operates according to Elon Musk's lawyer, who I'm sure is probably on par with you. And Elon Musk says this is just peeling back the first layer of the corruption onion. Stay tuned. So, you might want to backtrack, or I'll have Joseph Hall on. We'll go through the timeline step by step with John Deaton, and we'll ask him to show us where our QAnon conspiracies are, because I'd love to have any of these people who are so much brighter and smarter than all the rest of us to point it out to me any day of the week, any of them. I don't care who the attorney is, because I'm not. They can do their little arrogant, condescending spin all they want with me, because I'm going to go right back to the timeline and say, okay, well then tell me about the meeting at Andreessen Horowitz with Jay Clayton, where he tells Chris Dixon and Andreessen Horowitz to go get this group together, and then we're all going to get behind closed doors and decide how this is going to go. Then you're going to send me a safe harbor memo that only talks about Ethereum, and then we're going to give it a free pass. We'll go down that timeline line by line, and he can tell me about what a great person Jay Clayton is, and how great him and Bill Hinman are, and how they just wouldn't do anything weird or nefarious.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.